Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eye Girl 69. How y'all doing? Well, today is still June the 19th, but as I stated in my previous video, I would be back to do a review strain. And the review is on Mac. Um, and I guess while I'm loading the bowl, and I'm using my bubbler, and I haven't used my bubbler in a minute. It's been sitting in my kitchen. So I had to rinse it out, clean it out a little bit, and dry it out. So now I'm loading it. I already opened up the bag. I already put it in a jar. Um, so it is where it needs to be. And then I grounded me some down. All right. So the MAC. MAC stands for Miracle Alien Cookies. It's a balanced hybrid bred by the grower known as Capulator. It's created by crossing alien cookies with a hybrid of Starfighter and a Colombian Landrace. Now, I asked who the parents of this particular strain was, and this is the information that I was given. The legendary history and parent lineage of the Max strain includes alien cookies. This is the female parent that contributes dense buds, intense resin production, and a rich, sweet, doughy background. Starfighter and Colombian. These are a hybrid. A hybrid of these two strains act as the male parent. The Colombian Landrace contributes an energetic high, while Starfighter provides structure. And Miracle 15, in many specific cuts of the strain, such as the famous Mac 1 phenotype, the male parent was a hybrid called Miracle 15, which originated from a surviving Starfighter and Colombian seed. So that's pretty much the information on Mac, Miracle Alien Cookies. All right, well, let's try it out. See how she tastes. Oh man, look at that milk. Ugh. Wow. It's been a minute since I've used this bubbler. Ugh. Tastes pretty good. No complaints there. I think it did read that it has a little bit of a orange, citrusy note to it to a certain extent. And I can say, yeah, it does. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, cleared that out. Yeah, drink out that milk. Well, you can't see it now. And the last time I did, I let this thing soak in alcohol for a long time. I cleaned it out, rinsed it out. And then I think I used it once dry. And that's probably what you're seeing on the little bit of that. But for the most part, if I use a water pipe, well, like after I'm done with this for the night, I'll dump the water out, rinse fresh hot water through it, and if it looks like it needs a little bit of a soak with some alcohol, then I do that. I use 92% rubbing alcohol, and I also have coarse salt that I could put in there, but it usually, I don't think I ever really use salt in this one. I might have tried it a little bit, but it's usually in my other pieces that I utilize the salt. Yeah, bigger pieces like bongs or bigger water pipes that, you know, like my other one that my daughter and son in law currently have. And they are camping out for the weekend down at Lake Texoma. So my daughter, my son in law, all three of my grandbabies, they're out of town. They're like 2 hours south of me. I was invited to come along when they first started talking about it a few weeks ago, but I told my daughter, I was like, well, you know what it's like to camp out because you and Hunter camped out in the summer of 2019 in Colorado before y'all was able to secure jobs and save up money to get y'all's apartment. I was like, and you know that I lived outdoors for a total of 5 years. So I slept outside for a total of 5 years. And 2.5 out of those 5 years, I was in a tent in Southern Oregon. So I was pretty in one set location for 2.5 years. Except for when Daryl and I left for 5 months to come back to Oklahoma to see Kelsey graduate. And then we hung out with his friend for the summer and then we went back up there. But that's what's going on with her. I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. So I guess this stuff called Mac is pretty good. Miracle Alien Cookies. Who'd have thunk it? And you know what? There's a movie about an alien and a boy. Not E.T. I think it came out after E.T. It's called Mac and Me. I can't remember what year it came out, but it was really, really cute. But Mac, he was supposed to be from Mars. And Mac was a little baby alien. And then he had, I guess it was 1988 is when it came out. So I was 19. Jesus. Where does the time go? I was 19 when that movie came out. And I'm getting ready to be 57 here in 4 days. On Tuesday, I'll be 57. So I've done almost 57 years of living, I suppose. You know, be working on my 58 year. I started talking about Mac and Me because of the fact that I'm smoking Mac Miracle Alien cookies. Yeah, it's obviously doing what it's supposed to, so I'm definitely not going to complain. Oh, and I think the percentage on it was like 18, 18.18%. So, you know, I've had strains before in the past where one time I had a strain that was only 14%. And you would think with it being that low that it wouldn't be that good, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because I smoked this stuff and it was like really major stony. Even though the percentage wasn't that high on it, it was a really good buzz off of it. And it was a really stony buzz. I don't know how else to describe it. I've smoked some really. I think the highest THC that I ever consumed in flower form was 32%. Now in concentrated form in the form of dabs. I don't know what the highest percentage rate is, but I know it's over 70%. And being the lowest, is I don't think I've ever done concentrates that were lower than 70%. And the highest I probably ever did was anywhere between 89 to 92%. And that would have been when I was in Colorado and living with Kelsey and Hunter. And they had a friend, just call him B. And he knew how to get hold of some really good stuff. He always got diamonds. He always liked the really high quality stuff for a cheap price. And so he introduced me to an app to where I could, go online and search for all the cheapest deals around as far as flour was concerned. Alrighty. Anyways, let's see how long I've been jibber jabbering here. About 10 minutes. I think one reason why I make videos and I just like to chit chat about whatever with you guys is because I don't have anybody else to talk to. I'm alone. I'm an introvert. I don't have friends that come over. I don't have people to go do things with. I mean, I could have went out and went camping with my kids this weekend and um, some of my son-in-law's family and some of my grandkids as cousins as well. So it would have been a really huge to-do. But like I told them, I lived in a tent for 2.5 years. I don't need to have that camping experience anymore. You know what I mean? Especially when I have a nice air conditioned apartment, my laptop, a refrigerator, food, a shower, and a bed. So I have all the things I need to keep me nice and comfortable. So yeah, that's the only reason why I chose not to do that. But as far as like, I pretty much do try to do stuff with my kids whenever I can, if I have the money or whatever. But life's just so expensive. Entertainment, it's ridiculous. I mean, when I was a kid, you could go see a movie. My mom, we used to have a movie theater here in town, right around the corner from here. And it still has the marquee up front on the outside of it. The old marquee, it does still say the Canadian Theater. Um, but now the theater turned into like a antique mall for a while, and then I guess they eventually just turned it into like a banquet type facility. And so they have all sorts of things that go on there. They have weddings, after parties for proms, engagements, quincetas for the Latino families that have girls turning 15 and have their celebration. Um, Proms, all sorts of events that they have there. Um, but when I was a kid growing up here in the 70s, the theater was up and running, and it was only one screen, but they would run like a matinee type thing. They'd run like a couple movies, and it was like usually for a total of 2.5, 3 hours. The parents would give you enough money to get you in the door, get your ticket, get you something to drink, get you some popcorn, maybe get you a candy or something, you know? And heck, you'd still have change left over. Now, I can remember that at a young age, you know, being very, that much. And then by the time I was in eighth grade, so I was probably like 13, and we lived in Yukon then, uh, they had a theater too. And they had, like, I think it was six theaters. Yeah, six different theaters in one building. So they had six different movies, you know, being played at all times. And I think when we first moved up there, the movie theater cost like $2. I think by the time I was in eighth grade, yeah, when I was 13. And the reason why I say this is because that's when E.T. came out. And I went and seen E.T. a total of 13 times in the movie theater. I was totally obsessed with that movie. So I guess that's kind of fitting for what I've been talking about this whole entire time. Circle back around to aliens. Um, but it was like $3 to go in. And back then, the sodas and the snacks and all that theater food was a little bit more expensive than the ticket. But they weren't gouging you left and right like they do nowadays. I would say the gouging on entertainment as far as going to a movie probably started occurring when I was somewhere between the ages of 25 and 30 years old. Um, After Kelsey was born, we had a diaper bag. So Dawn and I would just slide our sodas in there and bring some other snacks like some candy or some other snacks, whatever, chips, whatever. But we always got popcorn. So it was usually we would just bring our own soda and our own candy in. And then we'd go buy us like a medium sized popcorn and share that between me and him. Once Kelsey got older, we still utilized the whole backpack diaper bag situation, you know. Um, just to offset our costs because tickets at that point in time when Kelsey was a baby 27 years ago, tickets were probably about somewhere between $5 to $7 a ticket. I don't even know what ticket prices are now. The last time I went and seen a movie was with Kelsey and my two granddaughters. That was a couple of summers ago. And we went and seen the real live Snow White with live people movie made with real people, not cartoon version. I think a little bit of CGI. But I think that was the actual last movie I went and seen. I don't think I went to a movie since then. And for me, Kelsey, and the girls, and we had some discounts, coupons, whatever it was. It still cost us, shoot, all the snacks and everything still cost us like as much as it cost us to try to get in the door. So for that reason, I don't do entertainment really. I haven't watched TV since 2009, 2009. I haven't watched TV since 2009. Um, I rarely even pay attention to what's going on out in the world now. I mean, I see blurbs of stuff here and there, but over this last course of a year, I would even say this last year, since it's almost my birthday, might as well talk about the last year. Over this course of the last year, I have changed a lot. Um, I'm not into drama. I don't want to see YouTube drama. I don't want to see Facebook drama. And I don't really care to see the drama that's on the world stage because to me, that's all it is drama. My mom says this has been going on as long as she knows, as long as she's been alive. And she's 93 years old. So when I see people out there running around saying, the end is near, the end is near, the end is near. No, that's just what they want you to think. Because if you're in that type of mindset, the energy that you put off is a kind of energy that people, like the people on the world stage, like to suck off of you, you know? Uh, so if you live your life in fear, your energy is being drained from you. Because there is nothing to fear but fear itself, right? Um, Same shit, different day kind of scenario, you know? Um, 1 minute the Strait of Hormuz is open, the next minute it's closed again. 1 minute there's a peace deal, the next minute there isn't. Yeah, same old, same old, same old. Now they're going to try to place Macron in the middle of things from what I've seen. Even though, see, the information that I'm giving you is just based off of my observations of what's been placed in front of me and the titles of videos. I might go listen to maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes of it, scroll the comments, and I'm gone. I'm off. I know what's going on. I don't need to deep dive into anything like some people do. It's all bullshit. All of it. It's all it's all to entertain your mind, to hold your mind. Enter, Tain means to hold. Ment means mind. Enter. Enter and hold the mind. That's what entertainment is. Because it holds your mind. Because you're absorbed by what you're being shown. Whether that's a movie, a sporting event, a concert, political shenanigans, um, whatever it is, that you would consider entertainment. To me, I have no interest in any of it. I pretty much get on my space just so I can connect with those folks that I've connected with. I'm not on here to promote any specific item or idea or brand. I don't want to be considered a influencer. I just like to share bits and pieces of my life, with others. Um, and live my life, as peacefully and kind as I can. Um, I don't like to get upset. I don't like to get riled up. I don't like to be pulled into any kind of negative space. And I will say this I have had some things happen to me, I would say, in the last 2 months And something felt off about it from the beginning in reality. But I got drawn into something that I shouldn't have got drawn into. And the more I got drawn into it, the worse I felt. You know, I dreaded each day. In reality, um, it was hard for me to put a smile on my face. I felt like I was pretending. The only reason why I've changed is because, well, I'm no longer involved in that situation and I'm no longer involved with that specific person. It was all platonic as well. It was just a platonic friendship, acquaintance, I would say, more of an acquaintance that I gave some personal time to. But when I started feeling like I couldn't allow myself to interact with this other person anymore. And once everything was cut off and said and done, my energy levels have been brought up. I'm happier. I look forward to each day. Um, and so, yeah, that tells me right then and there that there is both positive and negative energies that abound around us, through us, from us. Anyways, peace, love, hugs, nugs, all that awesome, wonderful, and amazing stuff. Hope y'all enjoyed my review. I hope you enjoyed some of my stories tonight. And until the next time, I'm out.